live.
Good morning, Summa scholars. Welcome to the Daily Summa. Today is Thursday, March 20th, the second week of Lent. And that's my notes for today. Top of page 103. Okay, hi, Joe. How you doing?
Hi, Greg. How you doing? I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm tired.
Me too.
I stayed up late.
How late did you stay up?
12:30ish.
Okay, later than me, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's still early for... in my mind, I have these different lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the musician life, which was many, many years. And it's normally 2 or 3 in the morning. Wake up around 10. That was just my life. So 12:30 still seems in my brain somewhere. Still 12:30 is still like getting to bed early. Yeah,
I get it.
But it's not getting to bed early when you wake up at 5:30 or whatever to do a show. And of course, there was some snooze bar action this morning. While I'm thinking of it, because I have absolutely nothing to say this morning, so I'm gonna air a beef that I've had for many years with the Apple Corporation.
Okay.
This is utterly meaningless and trivial, but it's just what popped into my sleep-deprived brain. On their alarms, on like Apple alarms or whatever, Apple, what do you call it?
Just a clock app.
Yeah, the clock app. On that thing, they have a big, fat, juicy orange button. And then there's a little smaller button at the bottom. And it's either stop or repeat. Sometimes you repeat the timer or you repeat the alarm.
Yeah.
Or you snooze. Some genius at the Apple place said, look, how about this? Let's make those different sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's not make it say stop on the big fat orange one all the time so that you always know habitually that orange is stop. Let's not do that. Let's switch it up sometimes for no freaking reason at all. Just so that if they're asleep or if they're in the middle of cooking, they have to go down and look real careful to make sure they're hitting repeat or stop, because it's going to be, who knows. I'm sure there's some rhyme or reason to it, but my point still stands. Just make stop the big fat orange one, no matter what, and repeat or snooze or whatever the smaller one. I realize they're probably thinking they're tired, so let's make the snooze one real big, but no. That's not how humans work. Whoo! I've been waiting to get that one out for a long time. Does anybody else know what I'm talking about? It can't be.
I mean, it does happen. I know what you're talking about. When I had an iPhone,
it can't be that I'm the only one. Usually it's not a problem, but sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Just the big fat orange one, make it stop consistently. Okay. Well, do you have any grievances you want to air to our massive crowd that's watching, so maybe we can change the culture, Joe?
No, I don't think I have anything right now.
Wow, Joe, you're having good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I'm just looking at... Okay, I do have some news, though. I did get Rumble working. So now we're on Rumble as well.
I'm sure that's exciting.
Yeah, no, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it took me some effort, and I got it done, so it feels good.
So tell me about Rumble. I've never been on it. Don't understand it. Why do we need it?
It's just like it's like a YouTube competitor, which, you don't... It's not the best marketing in the world, I'm just a competitor to the popular thing, but it's not too bad, and it's It's actually pretty popular for live streaming lately. I don't know if it'll matter much, but I find it interesting.
Okay. Well, sure. I'm on board.
Yeah, why not be there? You know. I mean, they also like, I think they own Locals, or Locals owns them. Don't know how that works, but
Really?
yeah.
Let's just make this a music video today.
All right, no Summa. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All our
Here,
days
I'll
will get
sing.
thrown
I'll
off.
sing in the Summa. This is our new channel. Sing in the Summa. Reply to objection 2. Augustine speaks of the knowledge who God here on earth. That's right. I'm feeling punchy this morning.
There you go.
I'm just like half is still in dream world, so I'll probably watch this
Right.
later and be like, "Wow, that's Craig when he's asleep."
Almost certainly.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we have nothing else, I guess we can start the show.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be a short one.
Today's going to be a short one, Joe. I mean, the question is whether the essence of God can be seen with the bodily eyes.
Actually, you know what you should probably do?
What's that?
Since we are on a new platform, maybe just a quick 3-minute tops. What are we doing?
2-minute tops sounds like there's a show, or there's a play, or there's a old saying, 2 minutes tops. See if we can do some research on that, Joe. Ladies and gentlemen on Rumble, welcome to the Daily Summa. Here's the thing. So we're going to read 1 page of the Summa a day, and from time to time, I may give a little commentary. Now, you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute. You look like a homeless dude. How is it that you're going to give a commentary on St. Thomas Aquinas? Answer, I don't know. How I arrived here is still circuitous and crazy to me. We're just going to read a page a day, and I'm going to teach and comment on it. We do happen to be on a beaver galleon. That's a little harder to explain. You'll just have to follow along and trust as we sail these waters of St. Thomas Aquinas' Summa Theologiae, or Summa Theologica, as some people like to call it. And Joe's here with me in my ears. He's actually at an undisclosed location, or we're both in an undisclosed location, right, Joe?
Suppose so.
I guess. And we're going to talk about the Summa and teach it. And the idea here is catechesis and camaraderie. The main point is to use the St. Thomas's Summa Theologica as a springboard to discuss philosophy, theology, and to hang out as bros and see how often we can not use the term bros. It's kind of the idea, to have camaraderie. Although this is a men's group, right now I'm kind of in hermitage, sort of. I'm off by myself doing some things for a while, but together in an actual room with a class, it's a men's group. But a lot of ladies seem to watch the show, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that true?
That's true.
And I have, you know why I have no problem with that?
Why, sir?
Because I love women.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it's my favorite thing. I think we've discussed this before. I love coffee, chocolate, wonderful. Surfing YouTube, that's one of my favorite things. Jacuzzi, bathtub, those are all good. But women? I mean, even when they're annoying, it's like kind of exciting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was a good idea. That was a good one, Lord. One of God's. Yeah. And that they like us, that's fantastical. That's also a magical quality they have.
Well, yeah, they think they like us. The truth is that we trick them into liking us. I was telling the guys about this last night. I mean, I bring this up every once in a while, but it's very
Let's
rare
hear it.
that you see a man who hasn't married up in some way. That's because I just think we're hard coded to be better at trickery, especially in the zones of romance. So yeah, we utterly and completely trick them and fool them into being with us, and then we marry them, so it's too late to back out once they realize. It's
Maybe
great.
that's why I'm not married yet and never have been. Maybe I'm too honest.
So yeah. What's your biggest fault? I care too
Well,
much.
I
Too
just
honest.
come out. I just come out as a jerk right off the bat. I just straight
Yeah.
out of the gate. I'm like, they're
Yeah.
like, oh.
I'm too
Actually,
honest.
no.
I work too
I've had a
hard.
few.
I
I've
care
had a
too much.
few. I've had a few who've wanted to marry me. So I guess that's not the truth. But yeah, there's a lot I could say there, but it would get off into. We need a separate show. The Daily.
Dude, there's no
We
way you
need
can get
something
me.
where we can talk. We need something where we can talk about women and other stuff.
I was looking at how much time the Summa thing has taken up of my life, and I'm like, this is absurd.
Yeah,
It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's just one page a day, Joe.
Yeah, it's true. That is the part you do. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
Okay. Shall we?
I think maybe we should Summa it up actually on our Daily Summa show. It might be
I'm just
time.
trying to find a way to talk about women more, but every line in my head just would turn into too long of a thing.
Yeah, maybe it'll come up during the
We
Summa.
have a friend who renewed their wedding vows yesterday.
Right. Yeah. Friend of the show, even
a friend of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I do so wish I could be there. Could have been there.
Yeah.
I thought about because we had watched so much Ellie, and those who know what I'm talking about. But I've heard all these stories of just fantastical things that our brother Jakob has done, loving things done for each other.
Mm-hmm.
One of them being that, like, this one couple, they were getting married. They were going off on their honeymoon, and the dude was like, they were going to like some little town next to their town because they didn't have a lot of money. And some dude in the group was like, oh, no, you're not. You're going to my house in such and such beautiful place that I have, my summer house. And he gave him his beautiful house on the beach or whatever it was, or in the mountains. I can't remember. And then this dude got in a plane from his other house and flew to that house and filled the refrigerator up with meat and stuff, and then flew back home. Just made a quick flight trip to fill the fridge with food so that when they went there for their honeymoon, there'd be all this food and stuff ready for them. Stories like that our brother Jakob does. And I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if I just drove in, was there for the wedding vow renewal, and then drove back?
I had a suspicion that you might attempt something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was in the air to do it. And then I started thinking the timing with the dog, like the dog eating and then going out, and then when the dog would be able to go out and use the restroom again. And then I was like, well, I could get the neighbor to come back and do it again. But then I started thinking, well, I'm imposing upon the neighbor. And of course, if I went there, it'd be very difficult to just go and not hang out at the lounge. So I'd probably go later, and so I would need the neighbor, and I just thought it best to not take a chance on neglecting the little doggy for a quick drive down there. But that would have been nice, wouldn't it?
I would have been cool, dude.
I would have been there and then already back here. Like
Mhm.
this would be the same. Okay, we should probably do the Daily Summa.
Yeah, it's about that time.
I got my
We're
chatting
doing
out.
15 minutes on chat. Yeah.
One thing is, I'd like to talk to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's nice.
Like I spend the day here alone. I talk to the dog, and then I get my little 10, 15-minute chat with Joe. Feel like I'm back home with the boys for a minute.
Mm.
All right. Women are wonderful. Okay, reply to objection 2. Augustine speaks of the knowledge of God here on earth. He's talking about yesterday's objection that we can see God at some point, that there's a similitude made within us for whatever you see. And Thomas is saying, well, it's a similitude in our vision here on earth. When we know God, some likeness of God is made in us. Okay, reply to objection 3. The divine essence is existence itself. That's going to be a reoccurring theme, folks. Get used to it. The divine essence is existence itself. Hence, as other intelligible forms, which are not their own existence, are united to the intellect by means of some entity, whereby the intellect itself is informed and made in act, so the divine essence is united to the created intellect as the object actually understood, making the intellect in act by and of itself. What was that objection? Further, the intellect in act is the actual intelligible, as sense is the act is the actual sensible. But this comes about inasmuch as sense is informed with the likeness of the sensible object, and the intellect with the likeness of the thing understood. Therefore, God is seen by the created intellect in act. It must be that he is seen by some similitude. So the divine essence is united to the created intellect as the object actually understood, making the intellect in act by and of itself. There is no intermediary. In heaven, the eyes of the intellect, as I was saying yesterday in that dream of Randy, we are given a direct gaze upon the essence by grace through glory, the light of glory. It's special. The heavenly gaze. Article 3, whether the essence of God can be seen with the bodily eyes. I think we know what the answer is going to be. Objection 1 from Larry. It seems that the essence of God can be seen by the corporeal eye. For it is written in Job, in my flesh I shall see God. And with the hearing of the ear I have heard thee. But now my eye hath seen thee. Now my eye seeth thee. I'm not on the wrong page, am I, Joe?
Nope, you're good, dude.
Yeah. I'm shell-shocked from that one day. I did the total wrong page. I love seeing the sun coming up gradually. Yeah. Okay, reply to objection 2. Ralph, further, Augustine says, those eyes, namely the glorified, will therefore have a greater power of sight, not so much to see more keenly, as some report of the sight of serpents or of eagles. For whatever acuteness of vision is possessed by these creatures, they can see only corporeal things, but to see even incorporeal things. Now, whoever can see incorporeal things can be raised up to see God. Therefore, the glorified eye can see God. When he's talking about other creatures, he's talking about how some say that, what is the phrase about eye like an eagle, sight like an eagle? Eagles are supposed to really have really good sight. And so the question is, maybe Thomas is saying that's not what he's meaning. Like when we get to heaven, we have sight like an eagle, like really good eyesight, so we'll be able to see God, like a microscope or something. Couldn't see him here, but now that I can see clear like an eagle, there's God over there. That is not what's happening, Ralph. Oh, I'm already answering. We'll wait for I answer that or something. Reply to objection 3, Shimon. Further, God can be seen by man through a vision of the imagination. For it is written, I saw the Lord sitting upon a throne. Remember, these are objections, folks. These guys are wrong. These are the guys on the Beaver Galleon who are objecting to the question, asking Thomas questions, trying to poke holes in his argument. And then later, Thomas is going to respond. But an imaginary vision originates from sense, for the imagination is moved by sense to act. Therefore, God can be seen by the vision of sense. Our imaginative faculty first originates in sense. And a lot of people don't realize that also imagination is part of the faculty that the agent intellect uses to apprehend being out there. It's not just imagination in the philosophical Aristotelian sense. It's not just like that song from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Bring yourself to a place of pure imagination. It's not just imagining a beautiful childhood imagination of you're a princess in a castle or something. That's not the only thing that imagination means. It is that medium by which we see things in our mind. And those things, this guy's saying here, Shimon, those things come from senses. First, they have to be in your sense. First, you have to have some apprehension of an outer thing, and then you start cobbling things together in your imagination. But that imagination doesn't just have to be that, like Lord of the Rings or making up hobbits or something. Imagination is that faculty that you can have scientific imagination, you can put things together in your head, or you can just see something out in the world, and it has to enter into you through an imaginative vision. Okay, on the contrary, this is an argument from authority if you're just joining us on Rumble. First, Thomas replies to their objections with an argument from authority, which is the weakest kind of argument. And then later, after that, he's going to go and do a rational objection. A rational answer to the objections. On the contrary, Augustine says, no one has ever seen God, either in this life as he is, nor in the angelic life, as visible things are seen by corporeal vision. Okay, so Augustine, even though they quoted him earlier, Augustine is saying, okay, but not corporeal vision, not the bodily eyes. I answer that. Thomas is going to give a rational response. It is impossible for God to be seen by the sense of sight or by other sense or faculty of the sensitive power. For every such kind of power is the act of a corporeal organ, as will be shown later. Now, act is proportional to the nature which possesses it. Hence, no power of that kind can go beyond corporeal things, for God is incorporeal, as was shown above. Hence, he cannot be seen by the sense or the imagination, but only by the intellect. I think we knew that. Let's hear the fleshing it out, as it were. A little pun there. Reply to objection 1. What's he going to say to Larry? The words, in my flesh I shall see God, my Savior, do not mean that God will be seen with the eye of the flesh, but that man existing in the flesh after the resurrection will see God. You could have two people on earth, or two people anywhere, doesn't matter, standing in their body, and one could be having the beatific vision and the other not. Something to ponder. The beatific vision is wholly interior. The kingdom of God is within you. You could have two people standing in a field staring at an apple tree, and one is seeing it in the beatific vision with the full knowledge of God's movement of all things and his loving embrace of that soul, and the other person standing there just looking at an apple tree. Sort of like a dog staring at a television. My suggestion is we all work towards the beatific vision. Even if universalism is true, even if at some point everyone will be the very bottom dregs of hell will be drained and the last soul will be redeemed from that and repent, even if that's true, you don't want to be the dude like in Dante's Inferno where Some of the people are just in kind of a liminal land. They have it nice. I mean, they're sitting around a campfire, Virgil and the boys talking about poetry. It's nice. It's nice. But you don't want to be the dude who's like the dog staring at a TV screen where everybody else is seeing the story. Everybody else is seeing the vision, and you're just study to show thyself approved. Work out thy salvation with fear and trembling. That's my suggestion. Likewise, the words, now my eye seeth thee, are to be understood of the mind's eye, as the apostle says. May he give unto you the spirit of wisdom in the knowledge of him, that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened. Oh, reply to objection one, Larry. I think we've got to the heart of the matter here. It's a vision of God, intellectual vision, but it's going to involve the heart. Let's just put this right here. Reply to objection dos. Talking to Ralph. Augustine speaks as one inquiring and conditionally. This appears from what he says previously. Therefore, they will have an altogether different power. That is to say, the glorified eyes. If they shall see that in corporeal nature. If they shall see that in corporeal nature. And afterwards, he explains this, saying, it is very credible that we shall so see the mundane bodies of the new heaven and the new earth as to see most clearly God everywhere present, governing all corporeal things, not as now see the invisible things of God as understood by what is made, but as when we see men among whom we live, living and exercising the functions of human life, we do not believe they live, but see it. Hence it is evident how the glorified eyes will see God as now our eyes see the life of another. But life is not seen with the corporeal eyes as a thing in itself visible, but as indirect object of the sense, which indeed is not known by sense, but at once together with sense by some other cognitive power. When we see people here, we're seeing accidents. Like when you see something in this world like this coffee cup that we love to make an example of often, the Agora coffee cup from the coffee shop Agora in Houston, down in the Tros. When you see these things, you're actually seeing accidents and you're seeing light. We don't think about it that way. It's like the other thing Thomas was talking about when I said you walk out on the porch, the first thing you see is being, and then you think pear tree, and then you think multitude of leaves and pears. What you're really seeing first is light, but you don't think about it that way. You think, I'm seeing a coffee cup, I'm seeing a guitar. But what you're actually is happening is light is hitting your rods and cones in your eyes, and you're seeing light. And you are created in such a way as to interpret it as a substance or a thing. So we are seeing this cognitive power of sense is apprehending for us the substance, which is invisible, of horsiness or humanness, the particular suppositum that is Joe or Craig or whatever. You are created in such a way as to apprehend invisible things through the visible. And in the glorified body, we will have a heightened ability to experience bodily reality. It's what I was saying yesterday about imagine if you had the whole computer code for the body, that person's soul and body just within you, so you didn't have to look at it on the screen. That would be a different kind of apprehension, but you're still apprehending a body. And that's getting into some teaching that I want to do some point, probably in my novel for the first time. I don't know. But a way of describing things that I don't hear people describe often, and that there's disputes about, long-standing theological disputes. But let's just go on because, if you're joining us on Rumble, this is a quick flyover designed to be milk of the word, not to go into deep theological things, and certainly not to go into mystical things. This is meant to just be a quick flyover of the Summa Theologica, and to get a taste And Thomas says at the very beginning of this book that this is milk of the word for beginners. This is meant to just be a simple catechesis for beginners. And we're using it as a springboard for camaraderie and other discussions and fun chats, talking about whatever's happening, you know. Let's continue about seeing God with our bodily eyes. But that the divine presence is known by the intellect immediately on the sight of and through corporeal things happens from two causes. That is, from the perspicuity of the intellect. The intellect will be much more perspicuous, able to see things clearly without being muddled. The intellect will not be muddled. And from the refulgence of the divine glory infused into the body after its renovation. I like that term. You know, you talk about a building being renovated.
Yeah, renovation. It's good.
We're going to get a renovation, dude. You could use a renovation. My body, I'm 53, but it's still pretty, you know, kicking. You know what I mean? But at some point, we will need a renovation. Did you like my little witticism, Joe? We haven't drugged that one up in a while.
I kind of missed
I
it.
see your silence speaks volumes.
I kind of missed it.
I made a little renovation body joke comparing my body with yours.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
It was so funny, dude. I'm sorry you missed it.
Yeah, I'm sure it was
Objection.
Killer.
Yeah, it was a banger. Yeah, reply to objection 3. The essence of God is not seen in a vision of the imagination, but the imagination receives some form representing God according to some mode of similitude. Who'd have guessed it? It's a similitude, Joe. As in the divine scripture, divine things are metaphorically described by means of sensible things. All right. Now, as you might guess, I don't know how much time I've burned or how close we are to 45 minutes, but as you might guess, I'm going to zip through these because it's just the objections. We'll be doing the on the contrary and respondio tomorrow. How much time is it? How much time do we have?
32 minutes is what we've gone through.
Ooh. Article 4, whether any created intellect by its natural powers can see the divine essence.
Nah.
Yeah, we'll say nah. Article 4. Let's see what Larry says though. Sometimes Larry and Ralph they've been conferring. I think that they were scandalized by the behavior of Billy Bob and Reuben, and who's the new guy, Plutarch?
Yep.
I think that they were a bit scandalized by that behavior. It reminds me of my Uncle Ralph, whom I love dearly. I don't think he doesn't like people who do drugs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think Ralph is not even a boomer. Ralph is pre-boomer. My Uncle Ralph might be in his 80s. I'm not sure. But, you know, the drug thing, that's goofy hippie kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I picture Ralph kind of like that. He's like, you know, when he saw, by the way, if you're joining on Rumble, these are names we've given. We've given names to the objections so that to make this more entertaining for all of us. And we're on a beaver galleon, and these beavers all have names, and each objection has a name. It's Larry, Ralph, Shimon, Reuben, Billy Bob. There's our beaver galleon. Yeah. Joe beautifully typed in, put beavers on a galleon salivating over. That's what I always say, but that's not what you wrote.
Something
Desiring
like that,
to eat, desiring to eat the mast.
Yeah.
That was our little ha-ha thing that we realized beavers really love to chew wood, and if they were stuck in a galleon, the thing they want to do most in life is to destroy their own safety and existence and chew the thing that keeps them from dropping into the abyss. And that's all of us. Just like I like to stay up late watching YouTube videos, and it's probably not the best thing, but just chop 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 chop. So pleasant. Okay, so yeah, there's the beavers on the galleon, and one of them is Plutarch, and we said that he was this was Joe's innovation, I think, that they found Plutarch floating, the flotsam and jetsam of another ship being destroyed. And Plutarch had a bag of weed with him, right? We didn't just make that up willy-nilly. When Plutarch came into the mix, which was like objection 7 or something, when this new guy, Plutarch, came into the mix, his question was really wild. So the joke was, I think it actually started with Billy Bob. I don't remember. But there's the Beaver Galleon. There's our crew. The first guy, Larry, is the guy with the do-rag, right? We have a separate shot of Larry, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we've named any of the other ones specifically yet, but
no, we haven't. We'll get to it. It'll all happen in its due time.
Yeah.
Soon we'll have Beaver Galleon t-shirts. I would love to wear a Beaver Galleon t-shirt. I mean, you think that what's that guy for I keep wanting to say Chucky's, like Chuck E. Cheese. I'm thinking about that gas station that started in Texas, but it's now moving all over the world.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Isn't that a beaver? As their
Dude, you're asking the wrong dude. I have no idea.
If I said it, you would know it, and everybody watching this would know it.
I don't think that's true.
I think it is. It's a very famous logo with the guy, and it's that gas station with the clean restrooms. Oh man,
okay.
Trust me. The people watching this are knowing. I'm not just going off. The people who are watching this know, especially if you travel at all, especially anywhere down south. But they're starting to move up here to the north also, and they become quite the thing for some reason. Everyone loves these places and wears their t-shirts and their merch. How can I not remember it? Shameful Texan. They started in Texas.
We have about 8 minutes left, just so you know.
Yeah, we're gonna fly through this. Whether any created intellect by its natural powers can see the divine essence. Larry says, it seems that a created intellect can see the divine. Bucky's. There it is. Bucky's.
I've never heard of this place in my life.
Well, look it up. Wikipedia Bucky's.
No.
Yeah, I thought you would say that. I just know you well enough to know. Yeah, someday you'll hear. Everyone talks about Bucky's like it's a cult. It's like they talk about it. I mean, when I'm on the road, sure, stop in, use the restroom. It's great. But people talk about this thing like it's some kind of
every local place has their own gas station that they love or whatever. I don't know what it is.
But this started in Texas, and this is at a whole other level. And I know you think I'm just saying that.
Of course it is.
Yeah. See, here's something you got to understand, Joe.
Everybody does this. You're not unique in this. Everybody does this.
I know. You have the tendency to point out when people think that they're unique, but they don't realize that everybody has that thing. It's like I said before, when you travel a lot, you hear everybody talk about their weather.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you don't like the weather here, just wait 10 minutes and it changes. Ha ha ha. And because they don't travel a lot, they think that they're yeah. But again, you should know that I have traveled a bit. And so you'll see what I mean one day.
Yeah, but it's not it's not to do with your like traveling experience. It's not what it's about. It's about nostalgia and bias.
You'll see what I mean.
Okay.
You will see what I mean.
I'm sure I will have the same reaction as I've had to every other gas station I've ever been in, and that this is a gas station.
I love this because this is recorded. The people who know what Bucky's is are watching this.
Perfect. That's fine.
Okay. Objection.
You'd be surprised how little I could possibly care about a gas station.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. That's what everybody says until you go into freaking Six Flags of gas station. And there's like a whole new world created and new off ramps and people are flowing into it like it's Mecca. It's weird. Okay, objection 2. It seems that a created intellect can be seen by the divine essence by its own natural power. For Dionysius says, and ain't great, the ears went off, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Because Dionysius says because Dionysius says an angel is a pure mirror, most clear, receiving, if it is right to say so, the whole beauty of God. But if a reflection is seen, the original thing is seen. Therefore, since an angel by its natural power understands himself, it seems that by his own natural power he understands the divine essence. We'll have to hit that that response up to Mali. But right now, objection 2, further, what is supremely visible is made less visible to us by reason of our defective corporeal or intellectual sight. But the angelic intellect has no such defect. Therefore, since God is supremely intelligible in himself, it seems that in like manner he is supremely so to the angels. Therefore, if he can understand other intelligible things by his own natural power, much more can he understand God. So if the angels can understand things better than us, then they can super better understand God. Thomas is going to say, no, guess what? God is wholly other. God is being itself, ipsum esse. So he's in a whole other category. That's a preview for coming attractions. Reply to objection 3. Further, corporeal sense cannot be raised up to understanding corporeal substance, which is above its. Oh, we come to the end of the page. Cliffhanger. We'll see more tomorrow. And Thomas's responses and answers about angelic vision and all of that stuff. How did we do, Joe? Are we under 45 minutes?
We're at 42 minutes.
I guess I'm not allowed to hear you anymore. I wonder if I just put this in, if it'll pop back in and I can suddenly hear you.
I don't know. I'm talking.
Well, I can hear you, Joe.
There you go.
I think we did it, Joe.
Minutes. Yeah, you did it fine.
So beautiful. All right, my man. This has been a banger of a show.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, this was a good one. Everybody, guess what? Oh, also, if you're just joining us on Rumble, St. Thomas Aquinas, after he had a final vision through long prayer and silence, said that everything he wrote in this was straw, to burn it. And so our logo, if we can pull that up, Joe, shows, first of all, the book open, which is the Summa Theologiae being opened, and we're studying it. Second, it shows the next image to the right of it is straw, even though this is a mock-up. What he's about to put up here is a mock-up, and the actual image is hay. But when it's done, it'll be an image of straw. And the idea is that we're saying everything that's written in this book that we're studying is straw. But if the straw is taken and used as meditation, meditate, as Father James Brent said of this book, it is an extended meditation on the presence of God. If it is used as a meditation, thereby seeing the rosary, meditating on the life of Christ, the nature of God, God's presence in our life, God's presence in Our Lady, St. Joseph's life, the whole scriptures, meditate on that. And then as you begin to create a theology in your mind, like a staircase leading up to heaven, that staircase can never get you to heaven because, as we've said, opposite that image, it's all straw. But if a straw is set on fire, it can catch your heart on fire, and you become the trembling little dove under the staircase. There's the dove under the staircase with the Holy Spirit flame over her head, and that is a reference to the Song of Solomon, that the Lord's beloved, his doty, is a trembling dove underneath the staircase. Deep within, you're contemplating the things that we are studying, and your straw is turned to the fire of the Holy Spirit. And soon, even in this life, not even the next life, in this life, as Teresa of Avila said in the 7th mansions of her interior castle, you will fly away. You can fly away into a ecstatic union with God. And may it happen to all of us. Remember, everyone, this is straw. Continue to pray.